Hello, Flosstube. Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, here with my Flosstube update number 95. Excuse me. Today is Saturday, December 14th, 2019. And I want to do something real quick here. Hold on, I've got a hair hanging off my eyelid or something. Yeah. I want to do this real quick, and then I'm going to pause the video for reasons that shall become clear in a minute. I got these lovely flowers, red and white tulips, and little pine things, from my a good friend of mine from Little Rock, a girl I used to hang out with her a lot. My friend Brandy Crawford. She doesn't watch the YouTube channel. But anyway, I heard the doorbell this morning. I don't know. I have this flower. It's up here. This kind of goofy clump of flowers is my fault because I didn't really put them back in any. I'm not a floral arranger. I had to take them, get them out of the vase and trim them up and put the water in and all that. But I'm gonna try to rearrange them a little bit so they're not so goofy looking. But anyway, they're really lovely little tulips and greenery, red and white tulips, sent to me by my friend Brandy. Like I said, I heard the doorbell ring early this morning, and couldn't figure out what it was, but I figured it was probably, the mailman or the something. And, my sister called me and said that, stop please, that I'd gotten flowers. And I thought, flowers? And the box didn't say who they were from, but there was a card inside from my friend Brandy. And, so yeah. I've never gotten flowers before. My mom has gotten them from my brother, for Mother's Day and for her birthday and stuff like that. But I've never gotten them before, so I was genuinely surprised. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, I'm not a floral arranger. I'm gonna have to look at them more carefully and maybe put these. The red ones I think are shorter, so they'll have to go in the front. But yeah, and it came in this pretty little white vase. And right now I'm going to pause the video and go take this vase back out because otherwise, well, maybe I can put it over here. I'm just going to have to fight with the cats to keep them from climbing on it. But I will pause it for just a second because I want to get stuff ready. Hold on just a second. Okay. This is a channel about cross stitch, so I'm going to get right to it. So I talked about a little bit about how last week about how I am probably not going to finish the Biscornus for Christmas, in time for Christmas. And that's I think that's true. That I will set them aside and try to finish them later as soon as possible because they're almost done. No, they're about halfway done, realistically. But anyway, so at the beginning of the week, probably maybe last weekend or something, I worked a little bit on this Dragon Biscornu by Tinymodernist. So I just put in a few more stitches before I quit. I'm almost done with it. I need another piece of thread that goes like this. So I had talked about how I was working on this dragon and I forgot the green thread. I had left it at home. But I did do like this orange there's some little dots and there's these flags. I finished them on this side. There's a cat. Oh, please don't do that. And so I did have this lighter bluish thread with me, and I had just started. I put like one stitch in on this little on the lighter blue in this castle, and so I was doing it, and there's a few stitches right here that I have to finish. I've done half of them, and I ran out of thread, so I have to finish that. So that's where I left off. And I want to do that before I sort of set this aside, because I don't want to forget that I didn't finish these stitches here. But when I was doing this, I was trying to figure out. The way I was doing it, I was like, wait a minute, where am I supposed to be? I want to make sure I got this right. And so I was looking at I looked at the pattern, and then I looked at these other castles, and I realized I did see this dark blue thing. I had done one of them, like, I don't know if it was this one. I had done this one, and so I just used that darker blue thread, because I did this one, and then I did all the little toenails, whatever, of the dragon, and the darker colors. I did all these little toenails. But it's the same color that's used for the door of the castle. So once I got started on that and did all that, I had a place to do this, to find this darker color. So I did that. And I based it all off of, what I did on here. And what I realized is this is like one stitch too tall. It should be only, I think, 5 or whatever, and it's 6. Or anyway, it should only be one stitch taller than the short part of it, and it's actually 2 stitches taller. So I made this mistake originally, and I didn't realize it was a mistake, and I just went boop, 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 and did all the other 4, and they're all like that, 2 stitches taller than the short leg there, right? So, and I did this one, and I did it just by copying the other castle or whatever. I don't know which one I did first, but I didn't think anything of it. And it wasn't until I was trying to do this that I looked at it and I'm like, that's not right. There's supposed to be like just a little hole between the top of this dark line and this upper tower. There's supposed to be a little an empty space. And there's not. You can't tell to look at it, and it's not significant necessarily, but it's just, there's supposed to be a hole there. It's not. Anyway, but so I did almost all of this, of the light blue of this castle. I just had to, like I said, there's a few stitches, there's a handful of stitches, like 5 or 6 here that need to be finished, and where I ran out of thread. And then these windows are this, gold color, whatever. I need to do that. And then I need to finish this dragon and blah, blah, blah. That's why it's probably going to be set aside until after Christmas. So, of course, the thing I worked on was, I think I'm going to take this out of the hoop for a second. You can see what I did. I did work on the giant snowman. I just still didn't finish it. I had a lot of things going on this week, which I will talk about in a minute. But, so I didn't do quite as much stitching on it as I wanted to. Ooh. Okay. But I did do quite a bit. I just, So I did his face, which I had not done before. And I'm working on this part of his middle hump, his bottom hump still. But I did do several rows here, because I'm up above the T now. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry. I did do several rows here, but they're, like I said, they're such long rows. It's so massive. It's so solid. But anyway, I'm up above I started out, I was down below this T somewhere. Last time I worked on it, so I'm up above the T, which is great. And, yeah, so, and I'm, making progress. But as you can see by this arch here, he's big. He goes all the way to here. So all of this is all solid snowman. But anyway, but because of the stitches here, anyway, it was just easier to work from this point of his scarf to go up here. So I worked on. I'm right now. I'm working on this middle section, and so the middle hump of his body still needs to be done, and that's his arm and this part of his middle part. But I did his face, so that's done. Yay! He has a little face. So I'm making progress. But it's kind of daunting and tiring to work on the snowman, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there, and so I have several finishes that I have to FFO, and so I have the 2 bookmarks, the Andorian and Control Issues. The Midnight Ride, the Christmas Eve Ride, I should say it's called, and the little camper. So I've done actually quite a bit of stitching, but I've been doing this since I want to say since July. Since this, because I was thinking, oh, I'll get started on it early and get it all done early, and yeah, and it didn't happen that way, but what can I say? Anyway, I did have a little bit of haul. I bought this, I bought the Flossmas ornament, 4 boys and an LL girl, NL girl, 4 boys and a NL girl design. Excuse me. So yeah, I bought it. It was like $1.58, and the most of the proceeds go to Muscular Dystrophy Canada. And I I was at my computer doing something else, and I thought, oh yeah, I want to look this up and buy it. And I was just trying to just type in the what I thought was the, excuse me, to just Google the thing. And at first I was typing two boys, and I thought, was it 2 boys? How many? So then I was, no, it's 4 boys. And so, but I was also putting A-N, and L girl. And so I was just like, that's not right. And so finally I just went to somebody's, I think Michelle Bendy's YouTube, in her description box, she had a link to this, and I was like, oh, it's 4 boys and an L girl. But anyway, the direct link helped a lot. But yeah, so the proceeds from it go to Muscular Dystrophy Canada, and it's it's very cute, and I will probably do it after Christmas, next Christmas, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, so I bought that, and then we were at Joann's again. Well, we did do the bug out, and so my older sister and I and her dog went to, watch out, Pucky. Snuggle, whatever your name is, you. We stayed with, my older sister and I stayed with my younger sister, And my parents stayed in a hotel near my younger sister's house. So it was, we ate together and things like that. But so my sisters and I went to Joann's, of course, and I think this was it. No, and then we went to Hobby Lobby. Yeah, Hobby Lobby. Sorry. And so, I didn't really have any reason. I just wanted to go, and I was looking at stuff and blah blah blah. And then my sisters were looking for, my older sister was looking for some yarn and all that stuff. Anyway, so I bought this little pouch. There's a cat. Excuse me. There's a cat being naughty. Stop, please. No. Ah, I got my cat's names backwards today. Anyway, this is a little square. It's not square. But just a little organizer pouch thing, kind of like that. I bought before I bought a llama. Excuse me, it had llamas on it, and they said knit, crochet, or whatever, stitch pouch. But this one was this nice little polka dotted pouch thing. I liked it, so I bought it. And then I bought some more fabric. There's purple. It looks kind of blue, but it's purple. And this green, and blue, and red, and yellow. And, again, I bought them not necessarily specifically, but I've got several blues now. I want to put blue behind that Endorian that I stitched. And so I've got a few blues to choose from now to find something that that goes with it. Or, of all things that I have, I might have another fabric that I could put behind it, whatever, just to make it look right. And I think I showed before a couple weeks ago that I bought at Target those pieces of wood. They're like chevron shaped kind of things that that I want to excuse me, put the Endorian and the control issues stitching on. But I want to I'll probably either cover them in fabric, or I might, which is what the all the fabric that I have is. I'm gonna see if that is appropriate or whatever would work on it. But if not, I can always paint them. I have a lot of craft paint from my previous life. From when I was in Little Rock, I just accumulated a lot of craft paint, and if it's still viable, I might use something like that. I haven't decided yet, but there it is. What it is. It is what it is. But so I worked a lot on that Snowman. This is really almost all I worked on this week, but and I took it with me when we went to my sister's house, and I worked on it a lot there. And yesterday, I spent a lot of time doing things like my Christmas cards. Stop, please, Snug. Get out of there. That's not for cats. I did my Christmas cards, which I was hoping I could get sent out today, but it'll probably be Monday before they go out. And and then my dad and I we had one of those. We bought one of those little projector things that it's like a kaleidoscope that puts lights in your house, kind of thing. Rather than climbing up and putting up, because our house has kind of a tall tower thing over the front door, and I think last year my nephew climbed up there to put lights on or whatever whatever he did. He's the one who did it because he's the only one that can really go up climb a ladder or whatever. So we may still put some lights. We have some outdoor lights. We may put around there's a post by the front door. Or we have a couple of palm trees in the front yard, so they might go on there. I don't know yet. But so they may yet go up. But in the meantime, we have that little kaleidoscope thing, and so our house doesn't look completely dead compared to the neighbors. At least we don't have. I don't know how many of you may have seen that movie Christmas with the Cranks, or read the book Skipping Christmas, but in the movie Christmas with the Cranks, well, in the movie and the book, the Cranks, there's their last name, they live on in this neighborhood where everybody, like, they always win like the best Christmas decorations, in the city or whatever. And so all the neighbors, put up their lights, and they all have this giant. Speaking of giant snowman, they all have this giant snowman on the roof called Frosty. They all have them up there, and they sort of like. It's not really a competition between the neighbors, but it's a sort of a cooperation between the neighbors to all, but they all have to decorate their house so that the neighborhood can win best neighborhood in the city or whatever, with the decorations. So our neighborhood isn't quite like that, but I was starting to think, it's really looking, our house is really looking sad compared to some people that have, and we don't have bushes like some people have those, kind of net-like things or whatever on their bushes, and we don't really have any place to put something like that necessarily. But but our house was, none of us had gotten around to doing anything out there, and so our house was looking kind of sad with no lights or no, anything. But now we have the little kaleidoscope thing, so it's not quite as forlorn looking as it was before. So I think that's it. I'm back to go work on the giant snowman some more. I'm really, really hoping that I can finish it this week, because I still have to have a finishing palooza. My older sister fortunately found she had to get an adapter for her sewing machine. I think she bought her sewing machine in Europe. Her ex-husband was in the Air Force, and he was at one point stationed in Belgium, and so she was living there when she bought the sewing machine, as I understand it. Anyway, so it had to have so when she moved to the United States, she, in order to plug it in, she had to have an adapter for the U.S. current, and she had one, and it worked fine for years and years, and then, I think it was, I guess, earlier this year, she tried she bought she couldn't find the adapter that she had, and she bought one. I think she bought it online. I don't know. Anyway, she bought one and tried using it, and it wouldn't work. And so anyway, she just recently bought another one, and it works fine now. Or like I should say, it comes on. The sewing machine comes on. We haven't tried it or anything, but if it works, it should make finishing a couple of the things I'm doing a lot easier. But I still have to, like I said, I have to have a finishing palooza. I'm hoping this coming weekend, the 21st. My aunt's coming to town. My brother might be coming into town. I don't know. He had a little bit of a setback, as I understand it, with his. I think I talked about it earlier on here, that he had to have his big toe on his right foot, I think. Yeah, his right foot. He had to have his big toe amputated, and I think the word was that they found some more infection on another toe, and so I don't know. he's still fighting it. So anyway, my parents are going to try to bring him out for Christmas, fly him out here for Christmas. So he may be sitting here too, and I don't know when when he might be coming or whatever. But so we're gonna have family, certainly by next weekend, I think. So, and then my niece and nephew who are away are gonna be coming back soon. I think my nephew Eli gets back to town today. I think they've gone to go get him from Tucson and bring him up here. And then my niece gets back, I don't know, around the 17th or thereabouts, So things are going to pick up and festivities and everything else. I think we're going to Nutcracker tonight, and so on and so forth. So I'm hoping I can squeeze that Snowman, squeeze him in and work on him. And the other thing is, I have a light on my headboard up here that's like a little spotlight kind of thing, and I use it all the time when I'm stitching. If I sat in a chair like a normal person and stitched in a chair like a normal person, it probably wouldn't be a problem. But because I stitch primarily in my bed, I use that light, and I bought it at IKEA before I moved out here, because I had it in Little Rock. I think I bought it, gosh, like in 2005 or thereabouts, quite a while ago. So I bought it at IKEA, and it has this little, like little mini spotlight things, like not halogen lights, but just regular screw-in bulbs, but they're little, they look like little spotlights. And so I've replaced the bulb a few times, and the last time that it burnt out, I bought 2 bulbs, thinking, okay, well, when it burns out, I can buy I have an extra one now. So the other day the light went out, and I thought, oh well, okay, the light bulb was burnt out, and so I took the light bulb out, and just as a matter of course, I shook it on my ear to see, because it didn't look burnt out really, and I didn't hear anything. Usually you can hear like the broken filament or whatever, and I didn't hear anything. And well, and because it was working, and then it wasn't working, and then it worked, and then it didn't work. And so that's when I had taken the bulb out, because I thought, well, I guess the bulb's messed up or whatever. And and like I said, I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear like the filament or whatever, And so just I went ahead and put it back in the light, and tried it again, and it worked. And so it's been, like I'll turn it on, and it'll work fine, and then it'll turn itself off. And if I sort of let it rest, then I can turn it back on, and it works fine. And let me see if it works now. There it is. See? So it's not the bulb, obviously. It's apparently something with the light itself. So I've been looking around to replace it, and I thought, well, we were at Target the other day for something else, and so I looked at their little clip lamp kind of things, and there was one there I thought might work. I thought, well, okay, I want to look at Walmart, because Walmart's a little bit cheaper for certain things than Target, and I just want to see what they had available there. And I needed to go to Walmart anyway. I was buying some things there, and so I had sort of a list of things I was going to get at Walmart, and I forgot the lamp completely. I forgot to look at the lamps, so yeah, I still need to do that. I still need to replace that lamp. It's kind of making me crazy. I've been stitching kind of without it, going, staring at, because since I'm working on that snowman, I don't have to really, I just have to make nice straight rows, and but it is a little bit hard sometimes to sort of look at it and not have a bright light shining on it. So I'll turn it on every once in a while, but like I said, it doesn't stay on very long. It'll turn itself off, and it's a pain in the butt. So anyway, speaking of pain in the butt, so I'm working on the giant snowman. So I want to finish what I started with this section right here, and it doesn't look like it's that many rows, but it is. It's a lot. And this is a Teresa Kogut Flosstube Freebie, and it's still I think on her site, on her website. But yeah, the ones you love, hold closely the ones you love. Yeah, it's gigantic. I'm sorry, it's just gigantic. I think what it is, it's really, it's big. It's 149 by something. I don't know. I don't have the pattern right here handy, but so it's 149 wide, I think, and because I remember I looked at the stitch count because I was trying to find fabric that would to make sure my fabric was big enough, whatever. But I think it's not that it's that big, but that it's just solid stitching. Because this, it took a while, but it didn't take that long. And I finished this bunny early on, and the bunny did seem like it was a lot of stitching because it's just solid. And I think that's what the deal is, that it's so solid. It's solid stitching. There's no empty space in this design, right in this section right here. It's all solid stitching, and it's big long rows of solid stitching. Yeah, so it's just turning into a lot, and I thought I was a relatively quick stitcher, and I even watched like Kitten Stitcher's tutorial on stitching in hand, and other people I know stitching hand, and they do it really quickly, but I just it's harder for me, I think, or something. I'm just not used to it, and I I did a few stitches that way on some project I was working on. I think it was Christmas Eve Ride when I was working on that, and and I can do it, but I don't think I'm any right now. At least I'm not any faster doing it that way than I am doing the stab and stick method or whatever. You would think that I want to finish it so badly. I like it. It's just a lot of work. Anyway, so yeah, that's the giant snowman. So, but once I finish him, I can FFO everything. Well, I should. I haven't wanted to take the time to FFO stuff before because I keep thinking, well, I should be stitching. I should be stitching because I have so much stitching to do. But we shall see. I'm really, 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 really hoping that I can finish that snowman this week and start FFOing things. But we shall see. Famous last words. I'm gonna finish that snowman this week. There you go. That's my prediction. And then and a few people have talked about their plans for 2020, and I don't know. My sisters and I are trying to do some design work between the three of us. My older sister is a very good artist. As a matter of fact, she has a channel, a YouTube channel, that if you're interested in art at all, you might want to go check out. She just talks about it's called Everyday Artist. And if you look that up on YouTube, there's several channels with that name. But I think her channel, has eBurge on there, Burge. So you might look. I had a hard time finding it. I don't know, and I don't have it. I don't know if I can find the link. If I can find a link for it, I might try to put it in the description box. But but anyway, so she has a few just basic art lessons like drawing in perspective, or you know, working with acrylic paints, something like that. Anyway, so just, but so she's done some drawings and things like that, and so she's the one who drew the Andorian for me, and charted the Andorian, and she's created a few little charts. Like, she has some seasonal things, but we don't have any. And I talked about the 10 minutes to midnight, which is a Santa Claus picture. And I started to work on it, but I set it aside because I had so much Christmas stitching to do. And so, but anyway, so, that's one thing I'm going to work on. And as well as all these other, she's done some little seasonal designs, like some flowers and like for the spring, and a pumpkin for the fall, and things like that. They're just small designs, but but they're designed, but they're not stitched. So we don't have any pictures of anything. So so that's still in the future. That's probably what I'll be working on in 2020, and then Stitch Shenanigans is in April, and so I'm thinking, well, I want to have some time in there in spring for if we have a smalls exchange or something like that, to have some kind of design that I can work on for that. And so I don't have any. So that's I don't really have any specific plans for 2020, but I have a lot of whips that I can draw on, that I can work on next year, as well as things that I've wanted to start that I've put off starting because I've been doing all this Christmas stuff. So I think next year, I don't know that that anybody's getting anything stitchy for Christmas, from me anyway, that I'm gonna stitch. I don't know. It just depends on what sort of things I see and want to do or whatever. Because I haven't stitched anything for myself since the summer, I guess. So I kind of miss that, being able to sort of like go, I like that. I want to do that. I guess I'm just not fast enough to do all of that. Like, I see Priscilla and Chelsea, they have like, oh, I did this, and then I did this, and I'm working on this, and I'm working on that. And I'm like, how? It seems like, I don't know. It seems like I'm not getting through, I don't have it finished every couple of weeks or whatever, it seems like, but yeah, so that's what I get for comparing myself to other people. Um, anyway, so like I said, with any luck, I'll finish that big snowman this week, and start FFOing things. But don't hold your breath, anybody out there. Don't hold your breath. Okay, so I think that's it. Once again, I'm Fantagray. I don't know. Well, I'm Fantagray on Instagram, so Fantagray is a valid thing to say. I'm Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, here on YouTube. And I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I apologize to anybody viewing this video. No, well, I wanted to say It's good to have my subscribers back. And welcome to any new viewers who are watching this channel. And I hope you, despite what I today's video, today's antics, hit that subscribe button and the little bell and become a subscriber, if you please. Anyway, so yeah, okay. So until next time, I'll see you. Bye.